Hi everybody, Mature Simmer here. So we're going to be doing something in Tower Simulator 3 today that is new, at least to me. But it is a relatively new app. It's just not one I've heard of, but a commenter on one of my older Tower Simulator 3 videos introduced me to something called Tower Companion. So I have just connected and set this up a few minutes ago. So you can see really colorful, professional-looking interface. Certainly not anything that's just cobbled together or so forth. And I've just been kind of clicking around trying to understand things. So you can create schedules based on real-world things against any of the airports. So it's similar to the schedule creators, I believe. There's tools here. You can do schedule creator. You can see, I guess it resets every few days. They don't want people creating a ton of schedules because I think looking at the little note in the Discord, in the Feel There Discord, where the creator Thomas has talked about what they've done. I've just quickly scanned things. It looks like around the end of 2024, he was asking for people to test, and I just, haven't been keeping up with a bunch of things on the Discord because the game's been pretty static for a long time as far as any kind of add-ons. So, like I said, this one caught me out of the blue, but you can see, you can go here to airports, and this is really cool because this is the next hour of real time at the airport. So you can see it's going to refresh in a minute or so, and then you could decide, like, hey, I want to control at Munich, and I'm going to have 83 flights, that are going to show up. So you can kind of set your challenge and so forth. You let the add-on know which airports you have. So these are all the airports. I've got mostly everything. I don't get a lot of things that are brand new, but I have most things. But what I'm going to look at today, or right now in this episode, is challenges, which is what is really intriguing. And so I'm going to be curious just how this goes. So I think I'm going to start this as a series for Tower Companion because we're kind of going to be all over the place if we do that. And so for people who want some variety, this may be a way to introduce it. And that's really what someone suggested. But you can see, like, we've got to get to level 10. And then I know there's a tower controller because I've seen it in other areas. So there's even a higher difficulty level. Just because I'm a glutton for punishment, and, why not? So I think to get a flavor for this, we're going to go ahead, we're going to do runway maintenance here at LaGuardia. And you can see runway 3113 is closed for maintenance at LaGuardia. Handle all flights via the 422 runway. So if we click on this, you can see exactly that. Requirements, closed runways 3133, and then you can see how other people have done. And you can see this, I think these things are relatively new. I mean, you can see March 17th, it appears to be the earliest date that someone did this and did the challenge. And you can see it says game not running. So I'm going to move this off to the side. I'm going to start challenge. All right, we'll bring this back just so you can see. So now what I see is I need to start the game, and then I need to go to the career, and then it's going to put this database, Challenge Runway Maintenance 7, is going to be there, and then, we'll go from there. But it can tell, like, kind of going back here, like you can see, it can tell the game is running at this point, which is excellent. And you can see Challenge Runway Maintenance 7 here. But I've got, like, my custom schedules that I've done and so forth. I don't know that I need to set it to current time, but we'll go ahead and we'll do that. 7:50 a.m. is where we're at. I assume we want to leave traffic density. I'm assuming these challenges are for the next hour. So again, I don't know what the weather's like, but we can't use 3 and 13. It's not telling me, like, how I close them. I don't think there's a way to do that. But we're going to start the game, and I'll kind of keep an eye out on the right screen that I have this on, just so we can see what happens. But yeah, I'm very intrigued. Now there is, I think, a paid version for this too. It's telling me I'm in my trial period. The website doesn't give you any information beyond just telling you what this does and letting you download it. So again, a workable website, but it's really just kind of a one-page thing. And then it downloads the file for you. Okay, so actually the thing I missed, I loaded the game in, but I went into Quick Play. It actually says go to Career. So there you go. It actually is creating career mods here. So I'm not sure that I'm going to be able to complete this, but let's see. So airport databases, yeah, default radar style. All right, so now it says challenge loaded, and it's got challenge runway maintenance session locked. And so yeah, I've got about an hour and a half, but this is 2 hours. So, all right, so we're gonna go ahead and let this get going here. Let's see if I can speed things up.
LaGaurdia ground, American 2042 with information Bravo, requesting push and start.
American 2042, pushback approved. Expect runway 4. All right.
Pushback approved, expect runway 4, American 2042.
All right, so the American is out that way. I'm going to see if I can do this way.
On final 4.
Brickyard 5824, cleared to land, runway 4.
Cleared to land, runway 4, Brickyard 5824.
So we're going to see.
Ground, American 2042 ready to taxi.
Oh, you know what? Let me set this back.
LaGuardia ground, JetBlue 2909er with information Bravo, requesting push and start.
LaGuardia tower, JetBlue 231 on final 4.
JetBlue 231, cleared to land, runway 4. JetBlue 2909er, pushback approved, expect runway 4. American 2042, runway 4, taxi.
Cleared to land, runway 4, JetBlue 231.
Pushback approved, expect runway 4, JetBlue 2909er.
Negative,
all right.
Invalid target.
So you can
American
see.
2042.
Oh, hold on. American 2042. Taxi to runway 4.
Delta 342 with information Bravo, requesting push and start.
American 2042, taxi to runway 4.
Taxi to runway 4, American 2042.
Alright, so there they go. So they are beginning. JetBlue is pushing back, as you can see. So here they come. And you can see it tracks things in real time. So, and it's showing me a delay, which I'm sure is going to be part of my score. Delta 342. Delta 342, pushback approved, expect runway 4.
Pushback approved, expect runway 4, Delta 342.
Alright, so we're going to shrink this
LaGuardia
down
ground,
a little bit.
JetBlue 2909er ready to taxi.
Alright. JetBlue 2909er, taxi to runway 4.
Taxi to runway 4, JetBlue 2909er.
Okay, so the American's going by. I'm thinking.
LaGuardia tower, Endeavor 5311 on final 4.
Endeavor 5311, cleared to land, runway 4.
Clear to land, runway 4, Endeavor 5311.
Oops. I'm trying to.
LaGuardia ground,
Spirit Wings
run other things.
3383 with information Bravo. Requesting push and start.
Spirit Wings 3383, pushback approved, expect runway 4. So there goes the American.
Pushback approved, expect runway 4.
JetBlue's gonna come out of here soon. I forgot about that. Like, someone's drinking or so. I don't know what that sound is. It's actually quite distracting, honestly. Alright, so we've got the Brickyard that just landed.
LaGuardia ground. Delta 342 ready to taxi.
Delta 342, taxi runway 4.
Taxi to runway 4. Delta 342.
Alright, let's see. American 2042, hold position.
Hold position. American 2042.
American 2042, continue taxi. Alright.
Continue taxi. American 2042.
So we've got Spirit over there. We've got the Delta. Alright. Brickyard 5824, taxi to terminal.
Taxi to terminal. Brickyard 5824.
LaGuardia Tower, Flix Jet 576 on final 4.
LaGuardia ground. Spirit Wings 3383 ready to taxi.
Spirit Wings 3383, taxi runway 4. Okay, so
Taxi to
JetBlue's
runway 4.
coming in.
Spirit Wings 3383.
FlexJet 576, cleared to land runway 4. Alright, so they're good.
Clear to land, runway 4, Flix Jet 576.
Alright.
LaGuardia ground. Brickyard 5811 with information Bravo. Requesting push and start.
Brickyard 5811, pushback approved, expect runway 4.
Pushback approved. Expect runway 4. Brickyard 5811.
JetBlue 299er, runway 4, cleared for immediate takeoff upon reaching altitude 500, contact departure.
Runway 4, cleared for immediate takeoff. On reaching altitude 500,
Alright,
contact
let's
departure.
see where we're at
JetBlue
here.
29er.
Delta 342, hold position. Brickyard 5824, hold position.
Hold position. Delta 342.
Hold position. Brickyard
Alright.
5824.
So let me get back here, because now, yeah, this is where I'm a little bit challenged. So I need him on Bravo. Okay. Delta 342, taxi to runway 4 via Bravo.
Taxi to runway 4 via Bravo.
Delta
Delta 342.
342, continue taxi.
Continue taxi. Delta 342.
Alright. JetBlue 231, taxi to terminal via Alpha.
Taxi to terminal via Alpha.
Okay, so
JetBlue
there goes
231.
the one
LaGuardia
JetBlue.
ground. Brickyard 5811 ready to taxi.
So he's going there, he's going there. Alright. Brickyard 5811, taxi runway 4 via Bravo.
Taxi to runway 4 via Bravo. Brickyard 5811.
Alright. So things are getting a little bit busy. Let's go back out here. Alright, Endeavor's landing. So we got that. Good news is we don't have anything else yet coming in, but we'll let the Endeavor turn off the runway here. Brickyard 5824, continue taxi.
Continue taxi. Brickyard 5824.
Oh goodness, Endeavor really rolled a long way. So let's see. Spirit Wings 3383, runway 4, cleared for immediate takeoff upon reaching altitude 500. Contact departure.
Runway 4, cleared for immediate takeoff on reaching
Alright,
altitude
hopefully
500.
we have enough
Contact
time there.
departure. Spirit Wings 3383.
Alright, let's just make... Alright, they are turning. I'm like, come on, what are they doing? But alright.
American 632 with information Bravo, requesting push and start.
Alright, where is he going? So let's see where the jet blue is going. Alright. American 632, pushback approved. Expect runway 4.
Pushback approved, expect runway 4. American 632.
Endeavor 5311, taxi to terminal, cross runway 31.
Taxi to terminal. Cross runway 31. Endeavor 5311.
Alright, so we'll just have to keep an eye on things. Let's go out here. Alright, he's rolling at least. So we have a shot. Nobody else is coming in. Endeavor's coming down there. So we'll just kind of take a look. This is a little more challenging to run than what I normally do. Man, these guys are really tight here. But yeah, he'll cross. Brickyard 5811, hold position.
Hold position. Brickyard 5811.
Alright. We don't have anything else coming in right now, so that's good. But yeah, this should go down. Let me just double check. Yeah, Endeavor's gonna turn. American 632, taxi runway 4.
Taxi to runway 4. American 632.
FlexJet 576, taxi to terminal.
Taxi to terminal. FlexJet 576.
Brickyard 5811, continue taxi.
Continue taxi. Brickyard 5811.
Alright, so we'll head out here. They'll be passing. So it's just a matter of, again, are these guys going to run into each other?
LaGuardia ground, southwest 245 with information Bravo, requesting push and start.
American 2042, runway 4 cleared for immediate takeoff. Upon reaching altitude 500, contact departure.
Runway 4, cleared for immediate takeoff. On reaching altitude 500, contact departure. American 2042.
Okay.
LaGuardia Tower.
So they're
Endeavor
going underneath.
5454 on final fort.
Endeavor 5454, runway 4 cleared to land.
Runway 4, cleared to land. Endeavor 5454.
Alright, so we've got FlexJet going to park. It's telling us we have things on hold right now. Again, be interesting how the scoring works out. So, yeah, Endeavor's way out there, so that's good. Alright, he's way past there. So, they will not be challenging each other. Southwest 245, pushback approved, expect runway 4. I didn't even hear them call in.
Pushback approved, expect runway 4, southwest 245.
Alright, so the American getting ready to go. Got plenty of time before that one lands. We might be able to get these other two off. Yeah, this is a runway that they need every little bit to take off on, I'll tell you that. Delta 342, runway 4, cleared for immediate takeoff. Upon reaching altitude 500, contact departure.
Runway 4, cleared for immediate takeoff. On reaching altitude 500, contact departure. Delta 342.
Okay. So they're departing. You know, and again, if this does quiet down a bit, where is... Okay, there goes the American. Yeah, I haven't played a lot of these airports. That's the other thing that this will give me. You know, I'll have airports that I'm not regularly interacting with. So Endeavour 54. 54 is out there. Southwest 245, taxi runway 4.
Negative. Need push back first. Southwest 245.
Wait, oh,
LaGuardia
was it
ground.
not ready?
Southwest 245 ready to taxi.
Southwest 245, taxi to runway 4.
Taxi to runway 4. Southwest 245.
Brickyard 5811, runway 4, line up and wait.
Runway 4, line up and wait. Brickyard 5811.
I'm going to try to get him off before the Endeavour, but I don't want to wait the entire time.
LaGuardia ground. JetBlue
There goes the
147
Delta.
with information. Bravo. Requesting push and start.
All right. JetBlue 1471, pushback approved. Expect runway 4.
Pushback approved. Expect runway 4. JetBlue 1471.
Brickyard 5811, runway 4, cleared for immediate takeoff. Upon reaching altitude 500, contact departure.
Runway 4, cleared for immediate takeoff. On reaching altitude 500, contact departure.
All right, we have
Brickyard
nothing else
5811.
coming in right now after Endeavour. Like, nothing is called, any of that, so I think we'll be okay. JetBlue's gonna pull out soon. Let's see. So there's Southwest, there's JetBlue. Just seeing what other views I have ready, so that gives us a nicer JetBlue, so we'll go back to that one. Got the Endeavour coming in. We've got Brickyard getting ready there. You can see Spirit Wings still tagged up in the air as it's cycling back over the city. Alright, so yes, the Endeavour's coming in. We're definitely going to wait. Oh, that might be one. That's just the JetBlue, so that might be one of our others that we have taken off on. Here comes the Endeavour. So they'll land, and then we'll obviously let them clear.
LaGuardia ground. JetBlue 1471 ready to taxi.
JetBlue 1471, taxi runway 4.
Command wrong start. JetBlue 1471.
What? JetBlue 1471, runway, taxi to runway 4. Oh boy. That
Runway
worked.
4. Taxi to runway
That was
4.
a little sloppy.
JetBlue 1471.
Alright. American 632, runway 4, cleared for immediate takeoff. Upon reaching altitude 500, contact departure.
Runway 4, clear for immediate takeoff. On reaching altitude 500,
Alright, we've
contact
got
departure.
Frontier,
American
it looks
632.
like. Got a few other possibilities. Looks like, yeah, we've still got some planes here, United, things like that. Endeavour 5454, taxi to terminal, cross runway 31. Alright,
Taxi to terminal.
so they're
Cross
going to come
runway
through
31.
there.
Endeavour 5454.
There goes the American. Again, nothing else coming in, so we'll be able to just keep getting things out. There goes the JetBlue. But yeah, I have not been to LaGuardia since the tower updates, so this looks stellar. That is for sure, so But yeah, this area is a mess in LaGuardia.
Delta 2919 with information Bravo. Requesting push and start.
Alright, where's he at? There he is, far terminal. Delta 2919, pushback approved, expect runway 4.
Pushback approved, expect runway 4. Delta 2919.
Endeavour 5454, taxi to terminal via Bravo.
Taxi to terminal via Bravo. Endeavor 5454.
Alright, so we're just going to need to make sure that they do not get into each other's way. Southwest 245, runway 4, cleared for immediate takeoff upon reaching altitude 500, contact departure. So it's interesting because it's only
Runway
telling
4,
me 10
cleared for
handled.
immediate takeoff on reaching altitude 500, contact departure. Southwest 245.
So we've definitely done, I felt, more than that. But we shall see. Alright, so the Delta should shortly be ready. I'm just worried the Endeavor's moving along pretty quickly. So just keep an eye out here. Endeavor 5454, hold position.
Hold position. Endeavor 5454.
LaGuardia ground. Delta 2919 ready to taxi.
Delta 2919, taxi to runway 4 via Alpha.
Duplicated command. Delta 2919.
Duplicated command, okay. Well, as long as you're moving, I guess I don't care. Oh. Delta 2919er, taxi to runway 4 via Alpha.
Taxi to runway 4 via Alpha. Delta 2919.
Alright, and then Southwest is getting airborne, so there we go. JetBlue's not there yet. So, I love the shadow in the water, or the reflection in the water. That's cool. That, I think, is definitely a new feature. But basically, once it starts to get up here, I think we'll be okay. Because, yeah, you can see it's pretty slow
LaGuardia
there.
ground. American 1249 with information Bravo. Requesting push and start.
American 1249, pushback approved, expect runway 4. Endeavor 5454, continue taxi.
Pushback approved, expect runway 4. American 1249.
Continue taxi. Endeavor 5454.
JetBlue 1471,
773 on final.
runway 4 cleared for immediate takeoff upon reaching altitude 500, contact departure. Brickyard 5773, runway 4 cleared to land.
Runway 4, cleared for immediate takeoff on reaching altitude 500, contact departure. JetBlue 1471.
Runway 4, clear to land. Brickyard 5773.
Alright, so we're getting to about the point where we're halfway. Okay, I'm like, where's the American? Because that's the thing I was unaware of. I wasn't really keeping track of that. See, and I'm wondering if they aren't considered handled until they're like really gone. Like if this Delta 342 is, you know, not. Whoops. Yeah, because like, well, no, I think the Delta 342 is considered handled. Alright, so we got the JetBlue.
LaGuardia ground. American 1249 ready to taxi.
American 1249, runway 4, taxi. That is terrible. What am I doing?
Negative. Invalid target. American 1249.
American 1249, taxi to runway 4.
Taxi to runway 4. American
Just
1249.
have no ability. Like, this is not the way I'm used to. I'm used to having the windows up, but if we can do it this way, I'm sure you'll enjoy it more viewing it, and you know, it certainly gives me some options here. Where is he going? Because I was like, oh yeah, this one will go fine, but he's doing this weird dance. I think once he gets going, he'll move along fine, because they don't really merge till down there. But I'm not liking that layout.
LaGuardia ground, JetBlue 2732 with information Bravo, requesting push and start.
JetBlue 2732, pushback approved, expect runway 4. Alright, so we're clear there.
Pushback
There
approved,
they are.
expect runway 4. JetBlue 2732.
Alright, so at this point, we have 13 handled, 12 more to go. So, and we're only like half an hour in, so maybe this really will be an hour, which would be great, because that's really what I was hoping for, but the way this scenario was set, it was set for 2 hours, and maybe it's because it'll take just a bit past 8 a.m. You know, but I'm not sure. Delta 2919, runway 4, cleared for immediate takeoff. Upon reaching altitude 500, contact departure.
Runway 4, cleared for immediate takeoff. On reaching altitude 500, contact departure. Delta 2919.
A little bit closer than I'd like, but I think we'll be okay. Because he just needs to get on the runway and get the roll, so come on. Nervousness. Alright, JetBlue's there. Alright, is he starting the roll? I think so. 'Cause, yeah,
LaGuardia ground, JetBlue 2732 ready
if
to
he
taxi.
doesn't start soon, we are going to have trouble. Alright, he is rolling for sure, but is it enough? Oof. Yeah, that one I made really close, so hopefully we won't have a problem. I mean, again, because they'll be slowing down as soon as they land, but so again, sometimes that's why you do the lineup and wait. But yeah, probably not the smoothest move. We'll see if it gives us any kind of an error. I don't remember, I assume. Alright, well, it's successful takeoff. He just landed. Alright. JetBlue 2732, runway... JetBlue 2732, taxi to runway 4.
Command property error. JetBlue 2732.
Alright.
Taxi to runway 4.
American
JetBlue
1249,
2732.
runway 4, cleared for immediate takeoff. Upon reaching altitude 500, contact departure.
Runway 4, cleared for immediate takeoff. On reaching altitude 500, contact departure. American 1249.
Brickyard 5773, taxi to terminal. Okay, so
Taxi
they'll
to
be...
terminal.
They're out of each
777.
other's way. So this one's not too difficult. But yeah, what I'm curious with is, I mean, I'll go ahead, we'll pull this over right now just so you can see. So it's reporting 11 flights, 14 handled. You can have it show handled if you want. So you can see here, handled, what delay there was, and so forth. So, you know, nothing crazy, but obviously it's clearer that way. But it'll be curious to see, like, what starts to happen. Yeah, how quickly you
LaGuardia
progress.
Ground, Brickyard 5770 with information Bravo, requesting push and start.
Oh, okay. So they're coming in the same place. Ooh, alright. Brickyard 5770, pushback approved. Expect runway 4. So I'm going to need to hold the other brickyard here.
Brickyard 5770.
So now we've got 15 handled. JetBlue's there. But yeah, we're going to run the brickyard a little. We're going to have to hold them. So a little bit of a not quite line up there. Brickyard 5773, hold position. Because I'm going to need to let them get out.
Brickyard 5773.
So yeah, now this shows as a delay. But at this point, like, he's going in beyond that one. Let's see. So yeah, they're popping into the gate next to them. So it's definitely creating a bit of a challenge there. And again, I don't know that we're going to get all these planes cleared. I mean, I'm guessing we may. Oh, you know what? Brickyard 5773, continue taxi. I mean, at this point, like, this one, for whatever reason, hasn't taken... so at this point, I'm going to have him park, and then I'll push him out. And we'll go from there. Nothing else coming in. Brickyard 2732, runway 4, cleared for immediate takeoff upon reaching altitude 500. Contact departure.
Command wrong start. Brickyard 5773.
Brickyard 2732, runway 4, cleared for immediate takeoff upon reaching altitude... Why is it saying 5773?
Negative. On arrival.
Oh, I
Impossible
see.
unknown error. Command property work. Brickyard 5773.
JetBlue 2732, runway 4, cleared for immediate takeoff upon reaching altitude 500. Contact departure. Maybe I should call the right plane in. That would be helpful.
Cleared for immediate takeoff on reaching altitude 500. Contact departure. JetBlue 2732.
Alright. Well, maybe there's going to be like a slowdown. Because, yeah, there's nothing much going on other than this. I think, looks like we've got a southwest queued up. That's likely going to be going soon. But, yeah, we'll make sure they're clear past the stand. Alright. Brickyard 5770. Pushback approved. Expect runway 4.
Pushback approved, expect runway 4. Brickyard 5770.
Alright, so everybody's in good shape there. He's parked, he's gone. JetBlue's going off. I see we've got an approaching Delta coming in here. Alright, I assume once he parks, he'll be called handled. Yep, 16 handled. So that just changed. And then the pushback, like the dance is as good as it can be, but it did give me a delay. Now, and that takeoff immediately, it says 17 handled. But yeah, now I've only got
LaGuardia
2.
Ground, Southwest 668 with information Bravo, requesting push and start.
Southwest 668, pushback approved, expect runway 4. So you can see here,
Pushback approved, expect runway
this
4.
just appeared.
Southwest 668.
But before I just had the 2, so I'm like, yeah, it's going to be smaller. And you can scroll, that's where I had a little bit of the game that I was playing. But yeah, maybe once we get going, we'll speed up some time here, because otherwise, A, will be waiting, but I'd like to get this scenario done and see how things work. So...
LaGuardia Ground, Brickyard 5770 ready to taxi.
Brickyard 5770, taxi to runway 4 via Bravo.
Taxi to runway 4 via Bravo.
So
Brickyard 5770.
we'll get it out there as quickly as we can. So they're moving along. Southwest is good. Alright, we're going to move things a little bit quicker.
LaGuardia Tower, Delta 1639er on final 4.
Delta 1639, runway 4, cleared to land.
Runway 4, clear to land.
We'll see if we
Delta
can get
1639.
anybody off before before he lands. I'm not sure that we can.
LaGuardia ground. Southwest 668 ready to taxi.
Southwest 668, taxi to runway 4.
Taxi to runway 4. Southwest 668.
Alright, we'll see how things all go. He's there, he's turning. We still don't see the brickyard, but now we do. So we'll just have to, again, keep an eye on things, because they're definitely coming together faster. Alright, let's see. Southwest 668, hold position. I can't see
Hold
over
position.
there.
Southwest 668.
Brickyard 5770, hold position. Southwest 668, continue taxi. I'm worried he's too close, and they might consider that they're
Continue
clipped.
taxi. Southwest 668.
Brickyard 5770, continue taxi.
Continue taxi. Brickyard 5770.
Okay, yeah, I don't think we're going to be able to do anything before he lands, so we're going to let him go, because by the time they get there and then turn, because basically the challenge is the hold line is here, so they've got to go around. Well, actually it might be there, but either way, like, they've got a ways to go, and you can see that delta's getting nice and large. If we come back here, you know, we don't have a wonderful view, but yeah, I mean, it's definitely, yeah, they're at 5,000 feet. I mean, they're not far away at all. So, yeah, we'll definitely let him come in. But yeah, still 17 handled, 8 to go. So obviously there's 3 of them right here. There's only 5 more planes.
LaGuardia ground.
And now
Spirit
4
Wings
of them.
171 with information. Bravo. Requesting push and start.
Spirit Wings 171, pushback approved, expect runway 4.
Pushback approved. Expect runway 4. Spirit Wings 171.
Alright. He may slow down enough to vacate right away, which is good, because then they don't have to be further off. Oh, I thought he was turning the other way. Southwest 668, runway 4, cleared for immediate takeoff. Upon reaching altitude 500, contact departure.
Runway 4. Cleared for immediate takeoff. On reaching altitude 500. Contact departure. Southwest 668.
Delta 1639, taxi to terminal.
Taxi to terminal, Delta 1639er.
And again, it doesn't consider these handled, so that is where it is different than the way when I've played my day in the life. Because really the 100 points is all you're getting in a quick play scenario, but this flight is not considered handled until it gets to the gate, which would make sense, because for a career thing, you're trying to obviously land them fully. See, and now they hesitate, and now they finally spool up and go. So,
LaGuardia ground. Spirit Wings 171 ready to taxi.
Spirit Wings 171, Taxi to runway 4.
Taxi to runway 4. Spirit Wings 171.
Alright, so the Delta's doing a good job. Southwest, taking an eternity, of course. None of them seem to rotate before. I mean, that's almost the landing point. I mean, they're almost past that. That is just nuts. Brickyard 5770, runway 4, cleared for immediate takeoff. Upon reaching altitude 500, contact departure.
Runway 4, cleared for immediate takeoff. On reaching altitude 500, contact departure. Brickyard
Alright,
5770.
so we've got this Delta coming in. I assume they're going to come all the way down here again, because I think that's where all our Deltas are right there. So, but New York skyline out in the distance. And I've flown into LaGuardia a couple times. It's not the prettiest airport, I'll tell you that. I think they've renovated it recently, but yeah, definitely, you know, other than maybe it's less busy than JFK. So I will say, so far, I mean, again, we've not been doing anything other than controlling, but it's just intriguing. And I do like the fact that it puts it in a career option, because I think that definitely changes it a bit. It'll be interesting if they stay there for a longer period. But all right, there's the Delta. There goes the Brickyard once he rotates and leaves. Should be, there we go. Now we got 19 handled. Spirit Wings 171, runway 4, cleared for immediate takeoff. Upon reaching altitude 500, contact departure.
Runway 4. Cleared for immediate takeoff. On
And
reaching altitude 500. Contact departure.
I'll watch the Delta
Spirit Wings
park.
171.
And by then, I'm sure the Spirit Wings will be rotated and going, especially if he goes all the way to the well, okay, there we go. I'm like, is he going to go all the way to the next gate, last gate? But he's not. So it's looking like we do have an approaching plane. But again, we've got 2 that we're actively working out of the 6. So that will get us down to 4. But Delta's almost parked. There we go. So yeah, 5 handled, and now we're down to 2 on our list. But you can scroll when there are more. So in the beginning, there were definitely more going on. All right, and the Spirit Wings is on its way.
LaGuardia Tower, Endeavour 5382 on final for.
Endeavour 5382, runway 4, cleared to land.
Runway 4, cleared to land. Endeavour 5382.
Right, and this will get us to 21 handled, 4 left. There we go. So doesn't really have to get very far off the runway. Yeah, I don't really like running this airport with the crossing runways anyway. So to me, like, this was not a very difficult call as far as you know, where we were gonna do things.
LaGuardia
Oh,
ground.
okay.
United 1710 with information Bravo requesting push and start.
United 1710, pushback approved. Expect runway 4.
Pushback approved. Expect runway 4. United 1710.
All right. We'll get them out. Again, move along quicker.
LaGuardia ground. United 1710 ready to taxi.
United 1710, taxi to runway 4.
Taxi to runway 4.
I don't know
United
that they'll make it
1710.
before, again, the plane is ready to land, but we'll move things along a bit. We'll see where things sit. Nope. Obviously, it didn't make it until then, so... But we'll have to get the Endeavour in. I don't know. We'll see if we have anything else landing. I'm not sure how this will all play out. Alright. Is he off yet? Not quite yet, but... United 1710, runway 4, cleared for immediate takeoff. Upon reaching altitude 500, contact departure.
Runway 4, cleared for immediate takeoff. On reaching altitude 500, contact departure. United 1710.
Endeavour 5382, taxi to terminal, cross runway 31.
Taxi to terminal, cross runway 31. Endeavour 5382.
Alright. So, for both of those, we have no delay. So, just...
LaGuardia Brown, JetBlue 1234 with information Bravo, requesting push and start.
Oh, there it is. JetBlue 1234, pushback approved, expect runway 4.
Pushback approved, expect runway 4. JetBlue 1234.
Alright. So... should be okay. Where's the Endeavour going? Alright, so yeah, they're not gonna come upon each other at any point. So, we've got the United taken off. Get a little bit of the tower view here.
LaGuardia Ground, Frontier Flight 3133 with information Bravo, requesting push and start.
Frontier Flight 3133, pushback approved, expect runway 4. Alright, so now that he took off, 22 handled, 3 left, so it's the 3 here on the ground. The 1 to park, and, you know, the one to go, so... Now the Endeavour will come through, we'll see. You know, by the time he pushes back and all that, it might be a bit. So, let's see. Let's move things.
LaGuardia Brown, JetBlue 1234 ready for taxi.
Alright, they're going to the next one. JetBlue 1234, taxi to runway 4.
Taxi to runway 4, JetBlue 1234.
Alright, so we're gonna wait for the Endeavour to go by at this point, because we're not going to pause them. That would probably honestly be inefficient. I would think they'd just rather have this plane wait for the passing traffic.
LaGuardia Ground, Frontier Flight 3133 ready to taxi.
Alright, so basically once they're at the line, we'll go there. Frontier Flight 3133, taxi to runway 4 via Bravo.
Taxi to runway 4, via Bravo, Frontier Flight 3133.
Alright, now we've got Endeavour, but yeah, these are our last 3 flights at this point, so we're going to move things along a bit, because we definitely can do that. Alright. JetBlue 1234, runway 4, cleared for immediate takeoff. Upon reaching altitude 500, contact departure.
Runway 4, clear for immediate takeoff. On reaching altitude 500, contact departure. JetBlue 1234.
Alright, so we're going to go ahead now, because this will let us go. I don't know if by the time they get on the runway and roll, if the other plane will be in sight here. Yep. Alright, so there we go. 1 flight left. Frontier Flight 3133, runway 4, cleared for immediate takeoff. Upon reaching altitude 500, contact departure.
Runway 4, cleared for immediate takeoff. On reaching altitude 500, contact departure. Frontier Flight 3133.
Alright, there we go. So, our last plane. And we'll bring this over live. So we'll see what happens when it takes off. Successful takeoff. All right, processing the results. All right, 2150. So I've got a delay penalty of 3150, success score 2500, 2150. So successful flights, handled flights, total delay of 35 minutes. So basically you're losing 10 points per minute, so that is good to know. So if I close, so you can see, so this person basically 2 minutes of delay is what they did. We're not even on the board here. Okay, but you can see 218. Average score is 1320, so we're well above the average. But if we go to the challenges now, all right, so it shows where I'm at. Okay, 1 attempt, 1 completed. So, but like what I don't know, see, I'm tower trainee, and it says unlocks at level 10. Like, how do I know? How do I progress levels is the question. So let's see, if I go to the log, I see next level. Oh, so do I have to do all of these? I wonder, yeah, because you can see unlocks at 25 flights, things like that, and then I have to get 100 to get to the next level. So what's a spotter score? And then statistics. Alright, so we didn't, in theory, do our first flight session because so the challenges appear self-contained, other than, you know, we can unlock them. But what it looks like then is I need to run schedules to actually make progress. But you can see we need 100 flights, you know, but 25 and 50 will get us some things, but then per airport, it looks like, see, when what I'm wondering is when it says, okay, unlocks at 25 for Cincinnati and St. Louis and Raleigh and Nashville, let's say, well, a lot of these, will it then let me do them, or do I have to do 25 at Nashville? That would seem to make more sense. I mean, I guess let me click on one of these. No, so you can't click, so they're not clickable buttons. But we will try that next time. But if I go back to the menu, like, yeah, it doesn't show this is completed, so I'm guessing, I'm not sure that this will even stay. So that'll be interesting to see as well. And I'm also wondering if, as they're more difficult, will it show up as like a level 2, a level 4 challenge, things like that, or not. Yeah, 17 and 8, and okay, so it's just giving us the score that the game gives us, but then it is also adding the challenge, per the name, I suppose, of time does matter. Even though it was 2 hours, we were able to get done, and I think, yes, it did. I wasn't paying attention to the times of the last flights, but I'm pretty sure what that was is it went a little bit into the next hour. You know, if we look at these, you know, 40 flights, like if we're doing 40 in an hour, that's going to be busier. You know, Raleigh's obviously a different airport. You can see the average score is pretty low. Or, I'm sorry, that's my average score. This is, I think, the number of people. And I don't understand global stats, 3940 for best score, but 17. So I'm wondering if it's saying, like, there's 3,940 people that have tried this challenge, and the average score is obviously then about 1730. That is what that person has, you know, that's where that lands, because it's a little less than half in all the cases that I'm seeing. Definitely an intriguing add-on. What I don't know, again, is the paid amount and what it is, what it gets you. Because I do think, like if I go here to the schedule creator, let's just take a quick peek here. So let's say I go to JFK. All right, so I see, so these are supporter features. And so it looks like I can do today, morning rush. No, it's not giving me, oh, okay, it's taking a little bit. All right. So there you go. It's telling me difficulty hard, but it does give you, oh, terminal validation. So 13 will probably not spawn due to missing gates. So yeah, obviously we want to do that to help, but basically, so there you go, 20.9 per 15 minutes. We're missing one livery, which is really interesting because I've got the full world traffic, world color. But yeah, so you can do like next hour, which then goes and pulls. So there you go. Like that's real time in the next hour. You know, 2 of the flights might not spawn. Cargo, I've got a couple missing liveries. So we will look at this type of thing next time. All right, it didn't do anything there. Now the other thing that's interesting is you can create challenges. I wonder if that, oh, see, I bet this shared challenge, oh wow. Okay. Oh, and there's some tower controller ones. 178 flights. Yeah, I can't even click on it. Where here I can like look at taxiway projects. All these taxiways are closed. Now I wonder, I don't know, I'll worry about that later, but yeah, the community ranking, I mean, it's only been one person that ranked it, but and it looks like, oh, I guess there were just 8 completions, so I don't know if those are close. Yeah, there's no way to tell like how, but see, this shows 7,900, so yeah, I don't know what this global stats thing then means. And Zurich, so I think I have all these airports. Yeah, there's certainly plenty of challenges to do. You know, looks like these, they're probably in order of rating. Well, nah, I don't know. But yeah, 2 runways up for maintenance. You have to use only runway 25. So yeah, I could speculate and think about this for a while, but interesting add-on for sure. You know, it kind of gives you that progression that I was looking for, where it's like, well, and the comment was posted on my how to create career scenarios video. If you are interested in creating your own, you can go look at that. You know, and like I said, if you go to the airports, yeah, this isn't showing, so I think I have to go here so you can see these are, you know, there are what, 5 airports at this point that I don't have, and it'll scan for them, so as you get them, it's not like you have to mark them, but you can, obviously. But we've got a lot of airports, so I'm pretty good as those things go. And then you can see it's app version 0.38. We are running the latest version. It did take a little bit to check, but this is where you can see you can become a supporter. So I may look into that, give you guys a little more information next time. But as I said, I think I'm going to, you know, I don't know if this will be an ongoing series. I'm starting to think it will be. The thing that might derail it is, you know, if the cost is like an ongoing monthly subscription and, you know, and they're not changing much, you know, we'll have to see how all that works, if it really is something that I'm going to be willing to invest in, and we'll continue from there. But at minimum, because it is unique enough, I think I will flag them as a separate series so that there's a playlist for them, and we'll go from there. But you let me know what you think, and let me know if you knew about this before I presented it here, because as I said, you know, I love Tower Simulator. I enjoy it, but this one I had not seen anything about it. I mean, it's not as busy of a ecosystem as Microsoft Flight Simulator, where there's like media reporting on the game and stuff. So that may be why. You know, I do want to thank the commenter. I don't recall the name right offhand who suggested it, so thank you. I'm always wanting to explore new things, and this definitely is intriguing enough that I'm going to stick with it, you know, into at least one other episode. So I will see you next time.